Good evening, guys, and welcome to BoATV for tonight's race. Tonight we have the Pro-Am boys GT3 Sunday. We're at Brands Hatch, and tonight I'm going to be joined by Steve for the first session tonight. Good evening, mate. Thank you for joining.
Evening, Roy. No worries. Always a pleasure. Good to be back. It's my first GT3 Sunday of the season, so always good to be here. And it's looking very damp out there at the moment for the boys in practice here at Brands Hatch. Certainly wetter than we ever saw at the Academy race yesterday. So plenty of frills and spills, hopefully for us today.
Yeah, I was just about to say the lads generally go for moist. They like the word moist. But yeah, very moist. Good evening. Who we got in the chat? We got Move Up. We got Stell. We got Lee, Mover, Jensen, Serby, of course. Good evening, everyone. Looking forward to this. Brands Hatch always throws up a good race. Robbie's, of course, looking strong already.
Yeah, obviously it's difficult to sort of judge practice times. Don't know what the fuel is, but at the moment, BOA Scara and Vega Evo sort of teaching each other, trading lap times already, and they are a country mile ahead of their nearest competitors at the moment. But you don't win points for practice, as they say. So I'll have to see whether they can maintain that pace when it matters in a bit in qualifying in 16 minutes time. But they've been very strong so far this season, haven't they, Roy?
Yes, the Ferraris are looking really strong in Pro-Am. Similar to the Bentleys in Pro. It's Jesus, Steve.
What?
I can't repeat that. That's too descriptive. Good evening, Kool-Aid. Apologies, I punched the mic. I would have heard this terrain. This rain to what we had raised. Well, if you look up in the top there, lads, you'll see that it's actually meant to be drying up in half hour. So we could have a dry qualifying, but we don't know what we're going to have for the race. So if you are just tuning in,
if it was a dry race, wouldn't it?
sorry.
It'd be really boring if we had a dry race on dynamic rubber and then the race is dry. Nobody wants that.
Well, even if it is dry now, it's going to be interesting. I'm going to apologise early on. We have a problem with the internet connection at the moment. BT let Prawley know at 5:30 this morning that we have a problem. So yeah, we will get some sideways cars. If you just joined us, don't forget to press that like button and subscribe if you haven't done already. Already done. You haven't done already. I do. Go on, sorry, mate. You was saying?
I know. I was just saying there's problems with the internet, problems with Roy's vocal cords as well at the moment. It seems. Hopefully, he gets them sorted by the time qualifying
It's not my
starts.
vocal cords; it's the brain.
Oh, that's worse.
Including dark, right? Well, the dark's the wrong one, mate. It shouldn't be dark. If it ever goes like that, jump out the server and jump back in again. It'll reset itself. If it carries over, the time carries on. Glitch. The Grand GTVR in the highest place Bentley at the moment. Some of you might have noticed the graphic at the beginning. Bentley team way out and ahead at the moment. Well, I say way out. 27 points. Probably should have made that graphic a bit longer. What came and went, didn't it? We've got Medic out there. I believe he was away last weekend. I was talking about the conditions to prawny, and I think the best way you could set up for it is a dry setup and a wet setup, and kind of just meet in the middle somewhere during the race.
Usually, typically, I would like to have a full dry setup, a full wet setup, and then a sort of like a damp setup. And the damp setup is usually very similar to a dry setup, but just with wet tires and sort of the right sort of pressures and stuff. And then you feel like you can whatever the weather's going to throw at you, you can sort of plan for it. We saw that in the academy race last night, where we had a dry practice in qualifying, and then a sort of a damp start to the race, sort of in between conditions. Sent a few people scrambling to find a setup, but yeah, you've got to have all your bases covered, and I'm sure these boys will have put the time in. I'm going to be a little bit intrigued to see. They're down in 18th at the moment. They've yet to set a time in this practice session. I'm intrigued to see what Hammer can do in their first race with Pro-Am up from Academy. They had good pace in that grid, and there's some quick boys in that grid. So I'll have to see how he adapts to the new grid. As Ferrari is looking mighty at the moment.
Thank you very much, Jensen. Couldn't say it better myself. I literally couldn't say it better myself. Cool Age, you've got one of the best cars in changeable conditions, though. The Ferrari's probably the strongest in changeable, I reckon. Bentley clearly strong in the wet.
Bentley's just good everywhere, isn't it? Let's not beat around the bush.
Yeah, I think it's
There's very few conditions the Bentley doesn't work.
I think it's trumped by on the twisty tracks like Hungary's and maybe this by Ferrari. But it is them too, we expect. But it's not them. The Ferrari ain't doing too strong at the moment.
I think the Ferrari is a little bit more track dependent, isn't it? The Bentley seems to be a good sort of. The Bentley's the Bentley's going to be there or thereabouts, whatever the track or the conditions. Whereas the Ferrari there's a little bit more to it, isn't it? It bites a little bit harder than the Bentley. You've got to be a little more forgiving with it, whereas the Bentley, she likes it rough.
Well, McLaren and Honda got been the biggest surprise so far, sitting in second place, and Ferrari in third, Porsche in fourth, Audi, Lexus. Not too sure the Nomad team was. They're in a bit of a scrap
everybody else, really. Yeah.
Sorry.
Everybody else pretty much in Nomad.
Yeah.
The Mercs, the Astons,
Nissan.
Nissans.
Not Nissan, just one Nissan.
Lambo.
You got a few of them.
Yeah.
None need to
all
know.
Just lumped in together. Be interesting to see how the Hondas get on next week at on the mountain. They're probably the strongest car there. It's weird. They're going from one of the weak cars to the BOP that they have at Mount Panorama is just insane. So
what's that?
Might see them the NSX at Mount Panorama next week. It's
really
a pretty mighty package. Yeah, really strong at Mount Panorama.
Good. We've got a couple of Honda. We've got Hoonigan out there tonight. He's done really well so far this season in Honda. Him and Ghost as well. See Medic jumping to bits. We've been ball with Medic for quite a while now. Ball with the Porsche of Matt Puck, car 683. We've got quite a few seasons now. Did a bit of video editing for us earlier last year. Only sitting in 7th place. There was a lot of S's in that sentence. White JB out there in a Bentley. a good season so far. Went for a better strategy as he put dries on in wet conditions last week. Ruined his race. He was in for a good little clutch of points.
You raise a good point, Roy, about the strategy as well. Obviously, we saw these mixed conditions yesterday in the Academy race, but the Academy, a sprint event, no pit stops, 30 minutes. These guys, I guess you get a little bit of breathing room, don't you? Because you know that you have the option to come in and make that tyre change should the conditions demand it. Whereas there's a few more gambles going around in yesterday's race, but be a case of who puts the right tyres on at the right time. Provided, of course, the race is wet. We don't know that yet. It could be bone dry, but we'll have to wait and see.
Hey, Mark, how you doing, mate? Thank you, sir. Yeah, I think. Oh, we've got a car going the wrong way around there. Of 5 Mike Leons. Horses all lining up their liveries. Apart from Binky and Butcher. You know what the Dutch are like, they have to be different.
They both look pretty solid, to be fair. Like the Golf livery, the Golf colours always look good, but yeah, they clearly the Netherlands-inspired livery that Butch and Binky are running looks pretty cool as well with the orange. Ferrari's, of course, running the only colour they're ever going to.
This season, you was Stig 2020. Is that a game of tag or you was the Stig in 2020? Evo also in the Bentley. Actually, matching liveries with Mike JB is invalidated that lap, surely. I know you can get away with a little bit, but to be honest, he's done well to keep it on the track, going out that wide on the curb. Nah. A lot of guys like to be individual. Fair enough. It's not forced upon them. Evening Trigger. Game tag. Yeah, I vaguely remember a Stig. Evening, mate. How you doing? Yeah, good luck, everyone, as Trig says. Hope you're all well. 18 cars, only 2 dropouts. 57 cars we had last weekend. 57 cars. Evening Viper, well done last night, mate. It's looking strong for a worse place tonight. Yeah. Are you two teamed up? Is it Team Jensen? Hands down, best looking livery this season is the McLarens. The silver and red McLarens. Just look on point.
Yeah, there's not many options as there with the McLaren, but they've knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
With those colours.
It's close between Ferrari, because Ferraris do look nice as well, especially when they're all lined up on a grid.
Oh, I think it looks good if you've got teams all in the same livery. I just think it just makes it look a bit smarter, doesn't it? A bit more professional.
Brian's throwing it out there. Ferrari to take top spot by the end of the night. Oh no, I misread that one. Yeah, beating Adavasia on main feet.
Yeah, Adavasia seems to struggle in the conditions. He was complaining a lot in the chat afterwards about the I think he went for the wet tyres and was struggling with the heat. And that's sort of those in-between conditions that we had. But actually, you've got to be there to capitalise, and Viper mopped up.
Team Jappel Jones. Let's have a look at these times. The Ferrari's looking strong again. Butcher. One of these guys may have to take a promotion to pro. Well, they will. Someone's going to have to take it.
Yeah, get rid of him. Move them all up.
What tends to happen though is the top 3 or 4 don't want to take it, so it gets bumped down. So
funny that, isn't it?
Oh, they want their opportunity to win a title as well, though, don't they?
Yeah, I know. It must be tricky.
What if you mess up though? Then you're stuck in Pro-Am again.
Yeah.
Seeing some rides, new teams coming at the moment. Going around trying to poach drivers, DMing our guys through our servers and that.
Yeah, I received one today.
Yeah.
They need to. I think if they need to set their sights a little bit higher if they think that I'm the sort of quality driver that they want to be snapping up.
I think it's we've had it 3-4 times in the last couple of weeks because the 3 servers are coming.
Of course, yeah.
But I personally put a lot of money into this. So you're saying I've waited until the servers are free. Surely that's like, I'm not feeling it. But we'll see. Winter's just putting good luck there.
Right. Yeah. My favourite thing about this, and I'm not going to name names or anything about what it was, but my favourite thing was that the poster said recruitment starts 1st of March. But I've been trying to be recruited now in January.
Oh, bless him.
But yeah, so that made me chuckle. I'm aware I need better hobbies than to laugh at things like that, but it made me laugh a little bit this morning.
Yeah, for some reason I didn't get recruited.
Funny.
We left out.
Yeah.
Last 30 seconds of practice. But yeah, I think a lot of people start up these teams, and we found out really quickly how tough it was. And people were like, oh, look at all these little teams starting up. When we started up, we was being called a little team. So it's good that teams are starting. It's good variety, and you don't want to be just racing the same people all the time. You sort of want to kind of give yourself something else sometimes, I think, as well.
Yeah, I think you need to. There needs to be variation, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no good having just multiple
competition as well.
Yeah.
We're in competitive racing. The teams have got to be, and the leagues have got to be
races.
competing a bit as well, haven't they? So, because otherwise, that's how each league gets better. Because you're kind of trying to outdo each other, but you're improving. It's like racing as well, isn't it? You're trying to outdo the next driver, but you're improving, but the next driver's improving as well.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Yep, of course, and it looks like it's going to be just as wet in this qualifying session as it was during practice. Again, it says in about 30 minutes it might just ease off a little bit, but that's what it said at practice, and it lied. So no wind either at the moment, so you might suggest that this weather might stick around for the foreseeable. So I feel like those drivers who were hoping for a dry race might not be in too much luck, but we, as you say, we'll have to wait and see.
I'm going to go for it's going to be a changeable race.
I hope so, because I feel like we only have two dynamic races in the season, or one dynamic race in the season. You actually want it to be changeable, don't you? You want it to be changeable, don't you? Because then it's just exactly the same as a wet or a dry race, isn't it? You want that element of strategy. So it makes it more interesting. And it brings certain drivers to the front who you might not necessarily see at the front.
Yeah, like you.
Thanks, mate.
Nah, solid performance last night, mate. Solid. Good to see you up there. Up there with a Diamond Class,
Yeah.
4th place.
Oh yeah, obviously it was a tribute to you, Roy. I could have got third when they all crashed at the final corner, but I thought, what would Roy do? Bring it home in
He's
fourth.
crossing line. He's like, hand out across the line, peace sign. This is for you, Roy.
It's the peace sign, but with 4 fingers instead of 2. Just
So, we've got who's in McLaren? Is that PO? Yep, PO just ahead of Evo. As it made the way onto time lapse. 234 or 224.
yeah, it's gonna be
Vega.
Vega at the front of the queue. The 3 guys behind him haven't really left each other a lot of space, have they? Oh, look, it's at McVitie. He's very close to the back of Evo. Traffic is a bit of a problem here at Brands Hatch. It's a short lap, and it's very easy to trip over each other here at qualifying. With 18 cars as we have at the moment, all of them bar one currently out on circuit. So a clean lap, sometimes just as important as a fast lap, and it's a bit surprising because there's a bit of a gap behind him. I think he has actually pulled off. He's backed off and realised that he might need a bit more space. But about to see the first lap time of the session. It was a 29.7, the quickest time in practice in similar conditions, and we start off not far off for 30 dead. That's a solid banker, you have to say.
In these conditions, yep. Very well said, Steve. Mover, sorry. Other Steve.
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting confused by this. 2 people. It happens
2
every
Steves.
time. As soon as somebody else has called me, I'm just confused. It just confuses
Yeah,
me.
can you imagine what it's like being Roy? It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
no one
Those
else
hundreds.
could ever be called
Yeah.
Roy, surely.
There's hundreds of Roys that you constantly meet in the streets.
Hammers into 2nd place there. Yeah, exactly, Steve. I think, yeah, people might jump, but who knows? Who knows? Let's just do what we do and see how it goes.
Yeah, I think maybe in the short term. It's very hard to say, but
It is hard
I'm very
to
much a
say.
firm
I'm normally
believer that
I'm normally pretty good at predicting what's going to come. I am a bit. I'm not worried, but
I think the cream will come to the crop eventually, and I feel like established leagues are only going to benefit, I think, from the new updates. So fingers crossed that works out well for us here at BoA. Skara currently provisional pole at 29.4, half a second quicker than his teammate Vega. RHM Hammer didn't set a time in practice. He's gone 3rd in the Aston as Vega responds, and it's 0.02 of a second between the 2 Ferraris at the moment.
Here we go again. Oh, by the way, they had split pole last week.
Split pole.
Yeah. Oh, Pio gets it sideways.
That
Just clears the Bentley.
and it looks like somebody else has gone off behind. I think that's Ant McVitie and the Mercedes.
Yeah,
I don't
few
know
have
if
gone
that was
off.
just evasive.
There was a car off in sector 2 as well.
Tricky conditions as they stumble around this circuit. That looked like sort of textbook McLaren mid-corner oversteer to me through Paddock Hill. Obviously exaggerated by these conditions.
I'm drinking this can of Monster. It's the worst. Oh, it tastes like shit.
Which one? Which one have you gone for?
Nitro. Oh,
Oh yes, no, that's not the right one.
make me want to poo.
There you go. That's BoA not getting sponsored by Monster Energy at any point in the next year.
Yeah, as long as it ain't nitro.
There's no nitro. All flavours bar nitro.
The Triple 3-2's coming across the line. And he's in 11th. Car just went off. Got Evo sitting in 5th place, having a much better season this season. He's scrambling to get back into pro.
It's up to 3rd.
Really good lap. I do know he loves this track. Hoonigan in the Honda. Hooney Honda. Better off than the vodka. Yeah. Hoonigan up into 12th place.
You can have vodka and Monster at the same time at once. And you get the best of both worlds.
Vodka and Monster, yeah. Oh.
It's a throwback to my late teens. That. Oh, Hoonigan in the gravel.
And 8th place is Grand Easy 3R. Got Red Apple. Bit of traffic in front of him.
Yeah, the Honda has been strong. With a toe.
Jumps up a place.
The Honda isn't as bad a car as people make out. I'm very much a bit of a Honda fan. And I think it's certainly got its quirks. It does drive quite differently to some of the other cars, and I think the big thing with the Honda is the default setups that you get, like the default aggressive, are just rubbish. So if you can find a good setup for it and get it working well, at certain tracks it does struggle, but at others it's a decent package. And you get the added bonus of everybody thinking it's a rubbish car. So when you get a decent result in it, people go, "Wow, he must be good."
I
very nearly to the NSX this season. Very nearly.
Ready B goes up to 13th. A-side goes into 13th. God did not improve. Got that again. What that little bunch up there? Evo's going to be able to get yourself into that. 6 minutes to go. This is seconds.
Yeah, got a few cars into the pits. Scara's absolutely blitzing this qualifying session. 0.7 of a second over Evo. A 28.7. I think that's. I'm going to go out there on a whim, and I reckon that's our pole time. Don't see that being beaten unless he beats it himself, of course. But looking absolutely mighty at the moment by BoA Scara.
Just looking through on the track. Not much standing water. You can see a dry line. I think that could be improving.
Yeah, that gap has come down. Vega Evo 0.2 out of him. It's still half a second. Still quite a large amount of time for a short track like this, but you just want to be on track. Oh, in these conditions, I always feel you just want to be on the track all the time. You want to just put in many laps as possible as Evo takes the rallycross line. There, must be another lap invalidated. But yeah, you want to be on track all the time, just so you're definitely there when the conditions are right. And that's what we're seeing at the moment. Everybody on track at the moment, bar Hoonigan. And he's dropped down as well. He came across the line, I think, in 11th or 12th, and he's down in 15th at the moment. So I'd be looking to get myself back on track. Be a bit careful, clever with it. Try and find myself a nice gap, and get back out there and set some times.
Movie's just said he's only doing 26 in the dry. So yeah, all you boys in pro, what you got coming next season? Mike JB at the moment. I always say keep an eye out for him at the beginning of the race. Always had great starts, as you know. Have you had the pleasure of being stuck up his ass?
I've had the pleasure of him being stuck up my ass. Zandvoort last season.
Oh, you're a taker, not giver.
There was at one point where his car was literally inside of mine. I think that was a stream of 6 race lap 1 incidents in a row for me last season. So it was, yes, it was one to forget last season. But Mike's doing well at the moment, 11th at the moment. It's very close in that mid pack. 3 of them all within a 10th of each other.
Less than 3 minutes ago as well.
Comes BoA Binky through the final corner. Got a nice bit of clean track ahead of them at the moment. Only in 16th at the moment, Binky. Let's see what this lap time is going to do for him. Does not improve. The Porsche's struggling in these conditions, you have to say. You've got Butcher King currently P6, but look at the other 3, Roy. 16th, 17th, 18th. Rooted to the foot of the table. And it's not an easy car to drive at the best of times, but certainly in the wet, it's a bit of a handful.
We have Richie and Al on comms for pro, and I'll be.
Are we that bad? Already looking ahead to a 8 o'clock.
Oh, it's only 7:15. Right, oh, Hammer's just got off there. Got traffic as he was trying to get round, but he can run and take on him like that. Got Binky next. What can he do? Does improve, but stays in 17th. His last lap. No, it's not. Oh. No, it's not. That was his last lap. Medic's doing really well up in the 9th. 8-8, ready bait.
And then here comes Skara. What's he got?
Oof,
He improves again. Another 10th. And he gets across the line in time for another lap. So, looks like the checker flag is going to come out just before Mike Leon's. Mike Leon's does get a lap in. P16 moves off the foot of the table. Then who's this? 332 Red Apple Pie again. Seems to be having a nightmare of the traffic today, but he moves up to 10th. Will he be able to stay there though? That's the question. Only a few cars still out on circuit. They've dropped like flies at the moment.
Yep.
Everyone goes 808 Wizard was. Final corner.
Oof.
Ooh. Evo lets out a sigh of relief.
Yeah. Gara's still on the lap. Doesn't really need to now. That's Mike JB.
Nope.
Always the last to finish. He was like that as a kid.
Here comes Scara. Surely, no, not again.
And Mike JB.
Probably backed off.
Dinesh, you lot?
So the Ferrari's looking mighty. BOA Scara, your pole sitter, a 28.6 in the wet here at Brands Hatch. But will they be able to keep it that way in the race? We'll have to wait and see. Who's your money on, right?
Scar.
Fair enough.
I can't see. We know Vage and Hammer is quick, but they're a different pace today.
6 temps is it's a short track as well, so 6 temps.
Yep.
Around here is quite a big one.
I think he's going to be gutted. I think he's probably going to be thinking, how the hell did they end up 3 seconds off? You got all the Ferrari boys all happy. 1 and 2. Probably sitting third in the championship.
Watch out for curbs and exit, and remember to brake early.
McLaren and Hondas, who's in the PO. Well, we can actually now see it will be changing. If you look at the top there, in 10 minutes it will be drying up. Evo to catch in on off track. Okay. Matt Park and Mike JB, they're going to be interesting. They always end up battling them two. Good night for Butcher as well, especially if conditions improve. That Porsche pretty handy around Brands Hatch. 2 minutes get underway with the formation lap. So get to the old heady view. So yeah, what about you guys? Who are you going for? Who's your money on? Which team's going to come away winner by the end of the night? Best place Bentley sitting in full place.
Yeah, we saw yesterday, lap 1, there was a few calamities throughout the pack, so they'll be hoping to get through nice and cleanly. Likewise, those guys who are a bit further back will be hoping for some calamity and for them to be able to capitalise and move forward. So, tricky conditions. I dare say everybody will probably be starting off on the wets. Looking to probably change to the dry. Should it dry out, I think it's definitely. I don't think anybody, or somebody might chance it, but I think they'd be unwise.
They haven't manned up tyre change anyway, so. Which we should probably look at changing for wet conditions. I've actually thought of it until now. But guys, if you haven't done already, please like, and then yeah, if you're just tuning in for the first time, please subscribe. We race every Saturday, Sunday, Mondays and Tuesdays. So we've we can bring back my POVs with the Ferrari Cup starting on Wednesday at Laguna. It's my favourite car and my favourite track. See, look, 1 like, we just got an extra viewer. I'm telling you, hit the algorithm mad.
Yeah. Although it's worth pointing out, there's currently 21 watching on my screen, but only there we go. They're starting to go up. Yeah. 13 likes at the moment. That means there's 8 of you who are watching this who still haven't hit like. So whilst we're on this formation lap, get on it.
Licky like the button. Lick the like button. Sorry. Oh, don't do that. Just in case. I got on board with the wrong car. Should be alright.
Excellent.
Unfortunately, no boa pad for this race. We'll be back for the next race.
Yeah, apologies.
Quite a few people have actually DM'd me about it. So those asking about the extra graphics and that, look, graphics take time. It's not what you put on there, it's how you lay it out that takes the time. And yeah, that's why if I start something.
The display by default is quite busy as well, isn't it? In ACC, there's a lot going on in the commentary screen.
Yeah, with the little chat box. Because I know like guys like to be able to watch it in full screen, but be able to read what people are saying and that lot as well.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why that's it. Especially when you watch it on the old big screen. I enjoy watching it on like a big 42-inch TV actually.
You'd have the soothing tones of BoA Diamond pumped through you in surround sound.
Oh dear. I do apologise. So the guys are now punching up. 2 by 2 they come into the final corner. It'll be key to keep it out of trouble. It's a bit longer than the race last night. Another 15 minutes.
Yeah, overtaking at a premium around here as well, so we might see a few opportunistic drivers trying to make places up early doors, but it's going to be very risky. Here they come up to the line.
Pick it away.
Okay. So it looks like Evo's a little bit behind on their box. That's going to allow a Wizard Roz actually to potentially get a jump on him. The 2 Ferraris make it through. Scara leads them away. It looks so far so good at the back.
Really
I think everybody's made it through cleanly. Excellent stuff. Hammered into third. It looks like Butcher King as well is making up a couple of places there.
Oh, Medic's
Wizard was
Medic up into 5th place. There. 6th place, sorry.
And
Medic flying.
A bit of a disaster there. Medic up into 5th. He started 9th. And waiting as the time and tower kicks up, but it's the 2 Ferraris out in the front, although it's Vega Evo that got the jump over the pole sitter. So the Ferraris have swapped themselves around, and Scara will be kicking himself. He did all the hard work in qualifying, and they has already lost the lead to his teammates. Hammer a solid 3rd, Evo 4th, Butcher King. Ooh, he's going to come under pressure from Medic now as they go down the Dingle Dale up towards the Sheen curve.
Oh, and it's been instant behind.
Oh, they're going to get it.
Oh,
contact behind, and McVitie's off as well, but Medic's going to make it through. It's all a bit scrappy. But Medic
again,
up
more incidents.
Into 5th, Medic. He's got it really switched on. The Mercedes really looking like a good package at the start of this race. He's getting it very out of shape there. Oh, that's a bit of a.
JB under pressure from his teammate. I think he's going to let this one slide as it's his teammate. Sensible.
Oh, the Porsche is really squirrely through Paddock Hill. Butcher King clinging on. It looks like he might have a little look. Oh, and PO Nitro nearly runs into the back of him. It's absolute chaos here in the mid-pack. Tell you, dynamic weather every race. We get this all the time.
Well, I can see already it's drying up. But these guys have got the added advantage of having a pit stop, mandatory pit stop. Whereas Pro, it's only a fuel stop. The Pro will
opens up the strategy.
And McVitie just needs to keep it calm and keep Medics off.
Oh, Medic's got off. Will Butcher King be able to return the favour up towards the Sheen curve? Doesn't look like it. But he's going to get a better exit again.
Round the outside.
Round the outside at Sterling's. Oh, it's a bit argy-bargy. But, you know, I think that's a case of no harm, no foul, but now he's going to be under pressure from McVitie. And towards the Clark curve.
Oh, sorry, no,
Ooh,
it's in there.
bit of rubber banding. Yeah, that nearly put me out as well.
Goes up on the inside.
Here comes McVitie on the inside.
He's going to slow it down.
Stopped. Oh, he does. It's a good move.
That
It
was
looks like is that
brave-
Mike JB
there's
has
contact
made
in
his
the back
way
there.
up to 9th as well.
Mike JB puts a move on
Butcher King's fighting back here at Druids. These two are going hammer and tong, and that was a bit of an elbows out,
Get off the
slamming
throttle.
the door in his face there. And
He was
that's
going to put it up on the inside. McVitie does well to avoid it. He loses out 2 places there. Now under
Mike
pressure
JB
from Mike
might have a go
JB.
here as well, up to Surtees.
Oh, there could be almost contact between Red Apple and GW there.
This is the problem with a track like Brands Hatch. When you're racing in a pack of cars, as soon as you go offline,
Yeah.
for one car to get past, it's so easy to lose multiple positions. And we saw that with McVitie. Butcher King was very robust in the move, didn't leave a ton of space on the outside, which it was his corner, so he's entitled to do that. But as soon as McVitie was off of position, he was under pressure all the way.
Oh,
he's hit. PR Nitro.
Done it
Up the
again.
machine curve. Oh, that's a shame.
And McVitie.
That is a shame. I tell you what, Medic is really sliding the rear end of that Mercedes in P5. He's going to have Butcher King all over him like a rash. And they're just tiptoeing round. You can see they're struggling for grip. Medic's lost it. Is he going to keep it out of the wall? He got it onto the gravel on the exit of Paddock Hill. Did everything to avoid the wall at the inside of Druids, but that's going to allow Butcher King back up into P5. Meanwhile, the leaders have just checked out. They're miles away. Is that Medic? Has Medic lost it again? No, he's held it, but he's going to lose a place. Is he? To Ant McVitie, the 2 Mercedes teammates, wheel to wheel round Surtees. Ooh, don't have each other off here, boys. There'll be a very frosty debrief in the Nomad team chat. If you do...
This is a good chance of points. He just needs to sit behind. Jesus.
There's a fair bit of rubber banding as well going on, which isn't helping. But
But then again, Mike GB is also pressuring.
Got a yellow flag. Somebody's gone round at the back of the field.
I don't know if that was a good move by...
Ready bait.
I don't know if that's a good move by Binky. Hitting early.
He's pitted early. Have a look, see if he's put a different set of tyres on. Yeah, he's still on wet, so he must have pitted for damage.
I think Medic would be wise to let his teammate through. Train of 6 cars forming. Yeah, Nitro all the way down to 10th after briefly up into 6th.
Yeah. I think out of this train of drivers at the moment, the driver who looks like he's currently got a bit more pace than the rest of the group is Red Apple Pie, car 332 in that Ferrari. He's caught up to this back very quickly, and I feel like he's being held up, but the 2 Mercedes feel like they're losing a ton of time here fighting each other.
Yeah.
Say it's allowed Butcher King's pretty much checked out. He was right with them before this, but he's 3.5 seconds up the road from this pack now.
Wizards all the way down to that 14th.
Oof.
Really poor start from Wizards tonight. Oh, and Mike Clooney's just gone. So that puts Wizard into 13th. Hoonigan just ahead. We've got Cats forming at the front end. We've got car off, 65. Mike Leon's again struggling. Mike JB's still pressuring Ant McVitie.
Yeah, it
Maybe,
seems to be a lot more planted under traction, the Bentley. Able to get the power down and exit a lot easier, but
I could see these
this is
two
the
mugs
moment. See,
coming
there we go.
together.
Oh, there's contact. Oh, no. Oh, dear.
Someone's getting a penalty. Yeah, medic probably should have let him past.
Yeah. There'll be tons of debriefing, I'm sure, in the chat after all of this, but Vitty is just going to have to knuckle himself back down and try and make his way back through. He's down in 13th now.
Up the points. Yeah, not great team play there, it's got to be said. Clumsy. I'd say without seeing all the onboards and everything. But yeah, it did look clumsy by Mike, but we don't know. Funny how it looks one thing from the exterior, but when you actually watch the onboards, it's a whole different ballgame.
But it was yeah, it's so it looked from the view that I had that Ant McVitie wanted to defend the inside, but his teammate was there, medics. So he had to take a wider line, and Mike JB just tried to sneak his way up the inside, but wasn't really the space. And 2 into 1 doesn't go, as we saw.
It's got so much rubber banding, but I don't get it because his ping's really low.
Yeah, it's really odd.
It doesn't make sense.
Oh, we've got a little inter-team scrap. A P10. The recovering Wizard is in the slipstream of Pure Nitro. Wizard remember, started this race in 5th place. It got absolutely swallowed up at the start. And trying to make his way back through. Doesn't look like his teammates wanting to yield that 10th place yet, so have to wait and see. So, meanwhile, at the front, Gavo got the jump at the start on our pole sitter Scara, and he's managed to gap him 2 seconds at the moment. Nice clean air. I don't know whether Scara is just willing to sit in at this stage. Formation flying with these two, but already we've only been racing for what, 12 minutes? Oh, is that McVitie's gone massively off track there? I'm just watching that on a delay. But yes, already, Roy, the leaders are coming up to lapped cars. We've got, I think that's BOA Binky, who has already made his stop. Will be coming up to the leaders very soon, and that can always, on a track like Brands Hatch, where there's a very narrow racing line in the wet, can always cause some mix-ups. So hopefully they all make it through.
That Huck's not having a good time out there at the moment. 15th. Going to be an announcement coming tomorrow about Patreon.
Oof.
It's not going to be that big of an announcement.
There's a Bentley off. Grand GT3R.
Oh,
This is oh,
there was contact between teammates again. Oh, two McLarens took each other out. We just caught that.
And then everybody's trying to, there's all sorts of manner of rejoins going on as the pack comes round, but we thought Wizard was getting frustrated behind his teammate, and he just tried to stick a wheel into Sterling's, and again a little bit of a lunge maybe, but we'll have to wait and see.
Here goes Grand GT3R on medic. Got the move done. Oh, Ready Bay had to stamp on the brakes. Not Ready Bay, sorry, Red Apple. Yeah, quite possibly wrong tyres. Ready Bay second
Second pit stop. Pure Nitro pits. Clearly, I think he had some damage from earlier on as it was, and then probably got a bit more from that fairly hefty whack that he got courtesy of his teammates. Wizard was, so he's going to jump into the pits as well. And
McVitie's on the charge. Who's that going slowly, McLaren? A-side's going really slowly. Just let McVitie behind. There we go. Yeah, well, yeah, there is a bit of like this. Your teammates, yeah, when the race is over. I just think sometimes you got to think, well, okay, he's quicker than me. Like I can still get points. But yeah, you're probably right there.
Such a long way to go as well. Yeah. So there's 5 minutes to go and you're fighting for position, and fair enough, but half an hour still to go. So Hoonigan gets out-dragged by A-side. That's a signature Honda lag, not doing him much favours out of the exit of the final corner, but Hoonigan's having a decent race of it so far. As I say, as he goes wide and immediately loses a place, so I apologise there. I'll keep my big trap shut in future. He started right at the back in 19th. Oh, not 19th, sorry, 17th. Oh, and he spun.
no, we just had Medic give GT3 a love a kiss on the ass.
Yeah, the Mercedes car's certainly a... well, I think they're fully comp on the insurance, aren't they? As we've lost somebody.
Fire theft.
We have lost somebody. I can't quite work out who it is that has gone. And I think it's Matt Puck will become the first retirement of the day. Seems to have disappeared. He was having a bit of a torrid time of it in the Porsche.
Not having a good race now. I got tangled up in sync earlier.
Medic is looking scrappy. The Mercedes seems to be really strong in those first couple of laps, but since then, it looks like a handful. It's got a red apple pie closing him down now as well, and it looks like he's sort of always on the edge of adhesion, and not in a sort of in a good way. You know, he looks like he's really struggling behind the wheel at the moment.
Oh, ready to go back into the pits again. What is it going on?
Wondering if that's maybe the towel going in, but we'll have to wait and see.
Definitely not fully wet out there. It's well, as in like there's no standing water. It's still
no.
Okay.
Oh, Medic goes wide. Is that going to allow Red Apple down towards the Sheen curve? It's a very difficult place to try and get past there, but
I think not making it easy for himself at the moment.
looks like he's trying to do everything just to sort of stay on the black stuff at the moment. A real handful, that Merc. Gap at the front. Vegevo has pulled that gap to 3.4 seconds now. So it was Scar who had the pace in the qualifying, but in race trim, Vegevo has been the Ferrari with the stronger pace so far. Hammer on Pro-Am debut, currently doing a decent job in P3. Evo and Butcher King. Matt JB has made his way through the chaos. Been involved in a bit of chaos as well, but he's managed to make his way up to P6. So it's a strong showing from him so far.
Up in the pit letting us know Medic's picking up warnings as well at the moment, so be careful. Evo having a really, really strong race. Pulled an 8-second lead out of a Butcher. He's
They've
keeping
got a
his
few
calm.
cars into the pits further back. Hoonigan and Mike Leons. You've lost. It's Ready Bay's finally called it quits. Two more cars into the box, and I don't know. Like it's still way too wet to be wanting to make the change to dries, but unless you've completely ruined your car with damage, I just don't see why you'd be wanting to pit now. You're basically opening yourself. You're up to a 2-stop race, aren't you? If it is going to dry out, but
Looking on the thing, it doesn't say it's not. Yeah, it's tricky.
it's only drizzle now, though, isn't it? The rain is quite light.
There's hardly anything on the
like
windscreen. Yeah.
I feel like these conditions are going to improve, but guess we'll have to wait and see. We found that out, I think, myself and a few of the other drivers yesterday. The weather didn't change as quickly as it was hinting to on the forecast.
Yeah.
I'm wondering maybe a few people might be hedging their bets on that one happening again, and actually that maybe we won't get to dries, but it seems a very big risk to take at the moment.
Yeah, that's what I think as well, sir. Just looking at the indicator, I think it's dry, and I just don't think it's going to dry. Keep an eye on that race light, see if that dry line starts appearing. That's what we're looking for. Sort of quiet down a bit after that frantic start. Get guys straight after this, well not straight after, about 20 minutes after this stream, we've got another race. The Pro GC3 League, straight after, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, the closest cars on track at the moment. Red Apple Pie 332 in the black and pink Ferraris in a Mercedes sandwich at the moment between Medic and McVitie.
What's this? Hammer into the pits. I think he's probably clocked. The conditions ain't going to change enough, I don't think. Get in there, get your tyre pressures right. Quieting down heavily.
Evo follows him in.
Butcher up into third. 23 minutes remaining. Oh, almost halfway. I was going to ask you how you enjoying the team format. I just realised you're Team Nomad, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah. So, as McVitie's managed to get past Red Apple Pie there, Frick Druids. That was a nice move. And this is potentially what these guys are going to have to clear now. Hammer and Evo, they've come out of the box. And they'll be eventually a race leader into the pits, Evo.
We are halfway through. Keep it up.
I suppose we would have been watching Hammer then. It would have taken a lot.
Yeah, it was about 8 seconds back from the lead. So you imagine this should be a fairly safe stop for Vague. And Butcher King also into the box. So The lead is coming in thick and fast. I
We love them thick and
just
fast.
wonder. I just wonder whether will Serosa try and throw the opposite strat. Not Serosa, sorry, not Serosa. Was it? Somebody said Serosa in the chat. Skara, will Skara try and throw the opposite strategy, go long, just in case, to try and jump his teammates. Coming around the start-finish line, so he'll maintain position over Butcher King.
I'm gonna. This is constructive criticism for Brent McVitie here. Learn to follow, dude. Chill.
Oh,
These people
there's
will make
contact.
mistakes.
Again, Wizard was, and I don't know if there was contact with McVitie or whether they were just he took evasive and lost it himself. But it's all a bit frantic, isn't it?
So scrappy. Just
Mm.
learn the car in front of you.
And
You
this
ain't,
is
just don't just try and get past him. He ain't gonna let you.
and this is potentially where these guys who have pitted might come into a bit of strife here, because Vegevo's only 2 seconds behind that pack. Now, if those guys stay out for a few laps longer, he's going to get held up massively by those guys. And that might be just what opens the door slightly for Skara if Veg gets traffic.
And like, wow, it's frustrating watching. It's almost watching like Grosjean or Maldonado. You know they've got pace, but what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
He looks like he's driving full red mist at the moment.
Well, the good news, typically, what I was saying about that pack of cars is that 2 of them have both driven into the pits.
3. Oh, Butcher's into the pits.
Butcher's... That's interesting. Butcher King's already been into the pits once, so I don't know whether that was the wrong tyres. He's not showing up as having done a stop, but I could have sworn he was in the pit lane a couple of laps ago.
Mandatory tyre changes on. Just checking I haven't messed it up and put fuel change. Oh, Surf, I need to make you a bloody moderator. Nobody wants to sleep with their sister online.
Oh, there we go. Right, so is McVitie going to stay out? Because he is. So Vague Avo will now has to try and clear Ant McVitie. And we've seen that he's not particularly the most easiest driver to get by. So is Ant going to fight this? I feel like he will, but
Yeah.
Vague wants to clear him as quickly as possible here, because every second he loses behind the Mercedes potentially might gift the win to his teammate. Or he's out on the grass. It's not where you want to be. He's going to go defensive as they go through 30s. Rubber banding. Now, if you can keep it on the inside here, you can get good traction. But it's going to be so difficult to get it moved on down to Hawthorns, especially now that... Oh, and he just lets him
right
through.
out of it.
Well,
Makes sense.
okay.
He's not in a race with him.
It makes sense. It doesn't... it's not very exciting for us in the commentary box, but a bit of racecraft from McVitie. Realises they're not racing, so it's going to be a case of where's Skara going to come out. He's in the pits now. The gap was about 3.5 seconds behind. He was 3.5 seconds behind his teammate, and has staying and going a bit longer helped him out in that clean air. Vegevo, it comes around the final corner. He's gonna hold the lead, isn't he? Yep, here he goes through. And so wasn't enough traffic. If you're Scara, you would have been hoping that Vague lost a ton of time coming through. But as you were at the moment, at the front. But Mike JB casually leading the race at the moment. Granted, the one of only the 2 drivers now not to a box, but it's always nice to see the P1 next to you now.
You always get you get promoted by finishing top 3. If there's a dropout during the season, then people get offered the seat. So if you're leading Pro-Am, someone drops from Pro, whoever's leading will get offered that seat. Normally top 4 don't really want to take it, so it keeps getting offered to the person down. To about 6th, 7th. You don't really want to be put in 8th, 9th, 10th place in Pro.
So we've got an interesting situation here at the moment, because Mike JB is leading the race. He's not pitted, so he's going to dive into the pits now. Presumably because Butcher King sent an absolute dive bomb at Hawthorns.
Jesus Christ. We've got Medic, the only one, the pit. Now we've got Vajevo. Judging the way he was this earlier in this race, I think he's going to just give it up.
Yeah. Didn't make that too hard, did he?
No. I think he had much choice about that.
What gets out on the curb? He doesn't want to be out there. Oh.
I think he's managed to pull himself back into the points. Fair play. Michael's sick at the moment. Ant McVitie coming round. Got par off 65. That looked like Mike Leon's again. He's not having a good night tonight.
No. The Porsches have struggled, haven't they? Really struggled.
How can that even be a what? Not. I don't even know what that. Speaking Dutch in the chat. Wizards actually carrying a bit of front end damage.
Yeah.
Pressure from GW here. Got 29 people watching and only 17 likes. Guys, please press that like button. You're just tuning in. Up to almost 370 subscribers. Great to get that up to 400 by the end of the season.
Scar has had a moment somewhere.
Not as easy as getting it up on Twitch. No. No.
Right, okay. In the blue corner, car 116, Mercedes Ant McVitie. In the red corner, car 86, Mike JB. Round 2. Ding ding. On the same bit of tarmac again, fight for P6. And well, if any of the previous 30 minutes is anything to go by, it could be eventful.
Your last 10 minutes just flying by. 30 minutes to go. McVitie has got pace.
Ooh.
Keep it calm. Michael needs to watch his braking. He can't keep doing that. He's got bad habit of that. Pick it out of him if I had to. Can't move across the brake line. And Hank McVitie just put yourself out of that challenge.
No, he's got to be careful here. This car's coming round. Yep. Good job. Well done on the rejoin. Medic finally becomes the last driver to pit. Yeah, just got too much curb on the inside of Graham Hill, and round she went. Mercedes has looked a handful. Whoever's been driving it, they've struggled in these conditions.
Oh, Binky's just picked up the curb. Going sideways.
Ooh.
Got another car coming round. See it clear though. Still really tricky conditions.
Ooh, yes it was. A big twitch and oversteer. Had to correct it, and it's gonna. Oh well, they managed to hit each other on a straight there. I'm not entirely sure how they've managed that. There's been a bit of clumsiness, isn't there, throughout the grid tonight?
Yeah, we saw it last night as well. It's hard to keep it on the track. Transats, you're either on track or on the grass. No run-offs as such.
Was it eventful last night? I didn't notice.
How did you think you got full?
Oh,
No, joking, no, joking.
it's what everybody was going slowly behind me. I don't know.
No, there was a lot going on behind you.
I had a very boring race, in fairness.
Ah, good. They're the best ones sometimes. Not for you, but well, yeah, for you, but yeah, no. Makes the race long, but.
Ten minutes to go. And as we saw last night in the Academy race, that weather, it said it was going to be changing, and it hasn't changed. So, in typical British forecasting fashion.
Like, there's literally no water on the track at all.
It's still wet though, isn't it? At no point have we got anywhere near anybody even thinking about putting dry tyres on.
No.
And I dare say with 10 minutes to go, nobody will at any point now. So there you go, there's got a bit of traffic here. Two of the McLarens. They're all sort of racing each other, so it's going to be difficult. He's got Binky and Pierre Netcher, a Bayside Snake. It's a nightmare when you come up against two guys who are a lap down but battling each other.
Oh!
Ooh, nearly ends in disaster.
I wonder if Binky knew he was going up against him.
Binky saw him right at the last moment.
I think that was a apology flash of lights. That was.
Yeah. The thing is, he's got the Pio Nitro right behind him as well, so he doesn't want to let off too much, does he? Because he's potentially, and that's for the last point, so he doesn't really wanted to have backed out too much. So I wonder if maybe he thought it was Nitro, but saw the Ferrari at the last second, and they managed to avoid each other, thankfully.
Yeah, that's good points, Rosa. I've not actually thought that far ahead, but that's a good point. Whether to keep. It's usually better to let the guys in the bottom three drop down, because it gives them a season to get themselves built up again. Porsche not having a great night tonight. Not a great track for him. Out of the points.
Struggle in the wet as well, don't they? I always find. You'd think with all the weight at the back, you'd think it would do really well in the wet, but it doesn't seem to be the case on the game.
It's a front end, I think. It's the weight you've got just understeer and horrible.
You'd be a Porsche driver.
I would. As long as it ain't a
You're a
Boxster.
braver. Yeah, you're a braver man than most.
I'm not a lady. Apologies to any men that drive Boxsters, but I'd rather have a brown. Oh, I just dropped the F-bomb, didn't I?
There we go. Demonetized. Demonetized.
No, you can still get monetized and say the F-bomb.
Oh, right. I mean, I've been not saying it for all this time.
No, because I've put it down as it's not for children. It's
True
not
words,
mature
never
content, but it's
spoken.
not for children either. It's not actually designed for children. What they said, mean. Nor is Gary Glare.
6 minutes to go here at Brands Hatch. And oh, not a lot's going on. Somebody, if you're out there on chat listening in, do something exciting. Got
Got me
Wizard
talking.
was, yeah.
Yes, it's
It's
definitely.
on the back of Red Apple Pie. But
Well, let's hope it's like GT4 because normally it's an entertaining racing, at least one of them. This has been a crap race. I do apologise, guys.
oh, Mercedes, McLaren in the wall. Who was that? Was that Nitro? Yeah.
Here out the
Let him
points,
through.
Binky back in.
Yeah, letting through Scara. The blue flag has got a wheel out on the dirt, and around she went. Somebody's gone off at turn 1. Hoonigan's facing the wrong way, so he's not having a fun time in the Honda either.
In your league, Neil? Yes, you are. Technically, these are higher placed than you because they're in a higher league.
He'll be for Pro League. That's what I'm hearing.
Let's go Pro League.
He's been in the top 6 every race so far, hasn't he, Neil? He's had a really strong start. Ooh.
Yeah, there's been some solid improvement. And with it, he's still plugging away. 10th place, Medic, and Mike. Mike JB's got the punch. Mike's up in the 5th place. I mean, he's my brother, and I don't like to compliment him, but he's looking pretty good this season.
Yeah.
He's still a dick, but
He had a bit of contact earlier on as well, didn't he, with a one of the Mercedes, so you can maybe
yeah.
throw that one at him afterwards. Wizard was. Looks like he's got the pace on Red Apple Pie, but it's more... Red Apple Pie looks like he's in more control. He looks like he's driving a lot smoother, a lot more within himself. Wizard, it looks faster, but seems to be a lot more on the limit, so 4 minutes to go.
yeah, definitely some great improvement. Neil so far, Mike, Wizard is having a better season. I think up until this race, he was having a better season. Hoonigan as well up until this race. Grand GT3R, Evo. We know the top 3. Sorry lads, you don't get to mention your aliens.
Yeah. If you want more coverage, slow down.
It's a much more sedate finish. Butcher's dropped.
We've lost him somewhere along the lines.
Yeah, I think that double pit put him out.
Yeah, he was out of the points. Went through the pit lane twice. Not entirely sure what happened. It looked like he hadn't changed his tyres at the stop, but not entirely sure what happened there. But day to forget. He was strong in the first half, and then just fell away.
Something's not right. Why are we finishing early?
And pass.
We're like 10 minutes early.
But no, everything's gone right. 45-minute race.
Nah.
15-minute quali, 30-minute practice. Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Oh well. But yeah.
Means you get a bit of a
sit.
sit down and a break before pro.
Wizards starting to lose. Just lose Red Apple.
Yeah. Just wondering whether, watching this gap at the moment, Medic seems to have closed that gap to Mike JB a little bit. It looks like it's within a second. So there might be a little fight for P5 on the final lap. Be one more lap after this one. And I don't know whether Mike is just managing that gap, but Medic's not a million miles away.
Okay, the leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
Found out about Wizard. He's actually closing him down again.
Yeah, the McLaren seems to be quicker in that first half of a lap. He seems to get very close through turns 1 and 2, and then sort of out of the back of the circuit, where you'd think the McLaren would be stronger. Actually, the Ferrari seems to come back.
Ooh.
He's gonna have some good traction always. So they both
Oh,
avoid. Oh
no.
That's unlucky. That
Oh.
is unfortunate. Oh.
And Wizard just moves out of the way. Oh.
Yeah, that was unlucky.
Yeah, I think he's just about
Had
to get
to
the laps.
avoid.
Just a boot.
I think Mike Leon's.
Mike Leon's has spent more time sideways than he has forward tonight.
And lost the back. He's going to go off again there, but he's got to be careful because that's the race leader trying to wind his way through. But Wizard will be absolutely gutted.
You talking about with his
Oh,
sideways
and
car? Yep.
They've hit each other again. Wizard and Snake have had some contact there as well. So Wizard has properly got into the wars. He might not finish in the points actually, but at the front the checkered flag is out. It's Vegevo. It's going to cross the line
Finish the race.
to
Well
take
done.
round 3. Is that the server gone? Oh, the Scar
No.
gone off. The Scar. We
Well,
lost
what happened
Scar
there?
right at the end.
I think we just lost someone as well.
Disconnected. DC'd. It was Scara from P2. Went off in the
Did he
final
cross the
corner.
line?
Server. No, he did not. He did not finish. So it's going to be Hammer that comes across the line in P2, and BoA
yeah.
Evo is going to take
got
the
podium.
final spot of the podium.
Well, I don't know what about that one.
And then P4, they've got half a lap to go, and Medic is all over the back of Boa Mike like a rash. Oh, 2 corners. Looks like Medic got a little bit loose going through Sheen Curve, so looks like Mike is gonna just have enough. 1 corner to go. And Ascara has rejoined, but is going to be a lap down. So, yeah, Mike and Medic cross the line, 4th and 5th. Red Apple Pie,
Well, he's
P6.
finished him in
Scara
7th.
showing up on P7 in the end, a lap down. But it was literally in the last corner, and for a minute I thought the server had died right at the end, but it was.
I think we'll put that one through admin as it was literally the last corner. We won't make no confirmations on that, but well done. Well done to everyone. I'm going to say that one for now. But especially to Evo and Mike JB. Them two and Medic actually. They had a great last couple of seasons, these 3, sorry, and they've done themselves proud tonight. Wizard unfortunately get tangled up with a teammate. But yeah, it was a really entertaining race. Well, the first half of it. Side off, big gaps. That's racing. It's, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Let's call a couple of them in. We're actually a little bit early. So we'll call in Silly Mank. He ain't gonna do it because he's sitting with his missus.
Oh.
Hello. We don't know if you got podium yet.
Yeah,
Don't get too excited.
No, I was going to act like I was fourth.
Yeah.
And then I crossed the line, and then obviously I looked, it said I was third, but obviously people were disconnecting. But then it said on the game I got a podium. I'm like, hey?
This Scara, last corner, DC'd.
Yeah,
So,
pretty rough.
yeah.
That must have been before the line, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's before the line, literally into
we were live,
as
by
they're
the way.
going into the final corner.
Yeah. I don't know.
Um,
I'll let the
Green light, green light. Go, go, go.
what you call them do their jobs.
What, admins?
Yeah, them ones.
Yeah. Are you not in there?
I am.
All right, okay.
Oh,
We'll see how that goes.
But, no, well done, Medic, Mike, and Evo. That was... Previews
mate.
are...
Medic, what a race.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Fantastic.
Yeah. Kept me honest at the end
Best-
there, mate.
Oh, yeah, sorry for the little tap on turn one.
Mate.
After that, mate, I was giving up because I thought if I don't want to have another contact. That was really good. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed that, mate. Well done.
Cheers.
well done, the three of you, because
Wow.
the three of you had Oxy weekend Sundays for the last couple of seasons, so it's good to see the three of you up there. Especially
I
you and
didn't-
Evo,
yeah,
Mike and Evo.
I didn't even
Looking
get a
strong.
chance to have any practice today. Or this week. I come into this race for no
It's
practice.
Brands and you're in a Bentley. You don't need practice. Jesus, how many laps you done here?
And it's brands, and I love brands. I do love brands.
Yes, we know.
Can't do
Mike.
it. It's like-
Mike,
You can't come
your
out-
strategy was filthy.
What's that?
Your pit strategy. I thought if he comes out in front of me, I'm going to drive to your house and slap him. Because I saw you come out. I saw you moving in the pit, and I was like, "F off, F off, F off, F off." That's not like,
mate.
oh mate.
Yeah, that was good fun. Well in, boys.
Yeah, well done all the
Medic,
previous.
Great race.
Oh man. Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, I just thought I'd
Seen
bring
the,
you dragons
top
in.
end-
Cool, mate.
Yeah, cheers. Mate. I've not seen the top end of Pro-Am for a little while, so that was yeah. Very
Yeah,
good.
Nice.
I know,
Enjoyed
yeah.
that.
This is a maiden voyage for me, mate. It's,
Yeah, Mike, I'm
nothing
surprised.
often.
Mike, I'm
I'm
surprised you're not dizzy being
high-fiving you,
up here.
Mike.
Sorry?
I'm surprised you're not dizzy being up here.
Yeah, I know, too, mate.
Nosebleed, mate.
Two out of 3 races, eh?
Hey mate, you're smashing it. You're smashing it.
Well, that's pretty
Hopefully
much
this
you.
seat secure for next
say-
season.
That's pretty
Mike will
much
be
you
pro
saved
next
this
season.
I'm seeing the rest of the season out. I'm
Do the butcher.
I was in a party with.
Don't want pro.
I was in a party with Jens. I was in a party with Jensen last night, and I said I'll just be happy with a point this season. It might get me through. But that's yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
You know what it's
There you
like
go.
in this league as well. You get stuck down that bottom. It's really hard to get back out again.
Yeah. Our people have sort of come on. It's crazy,
Yeah.
isn't it? So, the
That's
faces
awesome.
don't normally expect to see out there. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a
Well, it's
funny
good to see like Evo shifting
Yeah.
the ship magnet and just being consistent. No red mist so far this season. You've still been a lot more consistent.
Nope.
Not seeing you defending too much yet, Mike. So, Medic's
too.
not hitting everyone.
Well,
Well,
I don't know.
actually, I'm
was
just
it.
going to throw it. I'm just going to throw this out
There
there.
was this one time.
First race, it did actually hit
Wrong
me.
time at Baghdad.
I said everyone. Don't shit on it.
Yeah. just going to point out there. First race, when I was streaming, I saw Mike was behind me. I was like, Mike, please don't kill me. Second corner, I span out, and then Mike actually T-boned me.
You nearly killed me.
Hey, I'm not saying it's your fault, but I'm just saying,
You
Careful.
if you're
need
going
to
to
watch
get
it
on my way.
I need to watch it back on
Ah.
the stream, but in the first lap, me and Butcher on the back end. I think it was clean. We definitely exchanged some paint, but I don't know what happened after. But,
Yeah,
I need to watch it back. But I think it was a good battle on that corner. But yeah,
Yeah, Mike
Actually,
hit
gravitates
at McVitie, but I don't. It
what's
looked
that?
like a bunching together, but yeah,
But towards after the
McVitie?
pits.
And McVitie, yeah.
I don't think
That
I
Michael.
I
No,
don't think I had
Michael.
Contact with McVitie. I don't
No,
think.
he turned in on me. I had nowhere to go. I was on
Yeah,
the
it looked
go
bunched
anywhere.
together. I'd say I'm not making judgment on that.
It was weren't intentional. That's what it is.
There was a couple
Can
of
I-
corners I was holding up McVitie, but the rest of it I was keeping my own, I think.
Well, I
But
missed
guys-
all this because this
It
is
was-
this
it
is
was,
the first race I've actually missed any.
Right,
It
guys,
was,
say
in about
goodbye
4
because I'm going to kill
seasons.
the stream now and get the next stream ready. So, but
Right,
well
see you
done
later.
to the
Cheers,
three of you.
guys.
Well done
Cheers,
to
guys.
everyone out there. We'll sort out what happened to Vage, but yeah, you definitely got 4th, 5th, and 6th at least. So well done.
I'm happy with that.
So,
Cheers,
Cheers, guys.
Thank you, boys.
for-
Cheers.
Yeah, well done, fellas.
thank you guys for watching.
Until next time.
Steve, thank you very much. See you on Tuesday,
No
I
problems,
believe.
Royce. Yeah.
I'll see you
probably,
next Tuesday.
hopefully. Yeah.
So, cheers, boys. And thank you very much. Bye bye.